Alright guys, welcome to Hanson's Speed Shop. It's Jesse, and today we're going to be looking at my 1970 Pea Picker. This bike was built in April of 1970, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of this bike, and then we'll get into what I'm actually doing with it. I'm also planning on, at some point I've been collecting parts to do a grape crate project. So I wanted a 1970 frame to do that project with. So I got a good deal on this bike, or just a frame, and paid not a lot of money for it. This frame actually came from Puerto Rico. I got it off of eBay. The pictures weren't the best. They were a little bit blurry, and but for the price, I like snapped it right up. So the thing came actually super quick from Puerto Rico. It literally didn't even take a week, which I was pretty surprised about. And it was actually packaged pretty well. But when it got here, I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted something that wasn't like super nice, that I wouldn't feel bad about stripping and repainting. So I could tell in the picture it was kind of beat up, but I thought that'd be fine because I'm going to strip it and repaint it. But when I started looking at the bike, or the frame, I'll show you what I mean by I was a little bit disappointed. All right guys, so right here on the lower leg, it is just absolutely beat to death. This thing is just hammered and dented in, and it's this way on both sides. So like, I don't know if they were like using this thing to pull a cart around Puerto Rico with, or I don't know, but I've never seen a frame that beat up on this section on both sides. So I don't know if they had like a chain around the frame, or nothing seems bent. It's just beat to death right here on both sides of the frame. So I decided this thing was not going to be a nice enough candidate for my grape crate project, because that's going to be like a full-blown show bike. Like, everything on it's going to be chrome and nice. It's probably going to be like my nicest bike. Everything that I have for it so far is like either mint NOS stuff or re-chromed really nice stuff. So this frame, I could fix this with some like metal filler and stuff, but it's just not going to be, it's just not going to give me the look that I want for that project. So I had it laying around, and the idea for this bike, I've always wanted a pea picker. So I decided, let's just build this thing as cheap as possible and just make like a cool, ratty, rider quality pea picker. So that's what I started off doing. And that's kind of where it was at when you seen it in my muscle bike project video earlier this year. So I kind of started just using like parts that I had laying around. I had a springer off of like one of those Walmart Repop Stingrays, but it was too short, and I just wasn't really happy with it. It wasn't really going anywhere. And then I started thinking, a movie that I used to watch a lot, like with my sister and stuff when I was younger, was a movie from like the mid-90s, and it was called Now and Then. And there was this group of kids in the movie that all had banana seat bikes, and like the one kid had a pea picker with a super high sissy bar on it. And always liking old muscle bikes and banana seat bikes, since I was a kid, I always thought that was super cool. In that movie, it takes place in 1970, but the movie was made in the like mid-90s. So I decided I'm gonna like build kind of not really a replica of that bike in the movie, but like a kind of a tribute, I guess. But it's gonna be kind of like a survivor quality bike. So, and we're also trying to do this as cheap as possible and still use a lot of stuff that I just had laying around. Now that back wheel that's on there is just for kind of mock-up purposes, to hold the bike up for now, because I don't have a 5-speed wheel yet. But what we have so far is the front end on here is off of a 99 Schwinn crate. It's super nice. If you guys aren't familiar with these, I'll take you over here. They're really nice. They even have the Schwinn bolts on them and everything. The chrome's real nice quality. I didn't want anything like mint because the frame's not the best. So this worked out perfect. It's not, you know, cherry mint, but it's good enough for this bike. This front wheel is off of one of those 2007 Walmart Stingrays. I didn't want to run the drum front brake for a couple reasons. Number one, they're very expensive. Number two, they're heavy. And number three, if you don't set it up right, it's not going to roll super good. So you're always going to have a little bit of resistance with that drum brake. Or with a caliper front brake, you know, nothing's touching the wheel. So this is just going to be lighter, roll nice. I got it all re-greased up and everything. It's not bent, and it was super cheap. This front tire is really nice, really beautiful. This is actually a 2020 Schwinn repop tire. It's not for the S7 style wheel. This is like a S2 style wheel, but super nice, soft, brand new tire. Got that super cheap also. This is a old Schwinn stem. I don't know the date code on it. It didn't really matter for this bike. But it matches everything. Looks good on here. And then I had an old set of kind of beat up crate style bars for this bike. And then a while back I had picked up this 5-speed shifter. So we're going to be using that on this bike. Again, not perfect, so it's ready for this bike. This frame came with a C-clamp, but it was really not in good shape. So I had another one laying around that was still crappy, but better, less crappy than the one that was on here. I cleaned up the inside of the bearing cups. I'll probably do a little bit more yet, but they were pretty crusty. But I just left them in a frame and then steel wooled them up. And they cleaned up really nice. They feel pretty good inside. Needs a little bit of work yet, but we left the patina on the outside edge of them just so this kind of looks more authentic, I guess. And then this sissy bar is a 48-inch sissy bar with some rust on it, so it's perfect for the bike. And it kind of tapers and narrows as it goes up. And this is the same sissy bar that was on that Pea Picker in that movie Now and Then. So super cool. This bike should have the same kind of look and feel as that one, hopefully. And then I had to get a kickstand for this. So it's just, I think the kickstand was out of like a 72 Apple Crate or something. So it's going to be kind of a mixed match of parts, but I'm more so just kind of trying to achieve a look with this bike, more not really so much like a super correct restoration. It's going to just be a rider quality bike, kind of a ratty bike, but it should be pretty cool when it's done. I need like about a dozen plus parts to finish this bike, and it's just a matter of money and finding parts, and then not so much time to put it together. Once I have all the parts, it'll go together super quick. It's just more of a money and scarcity of parts, but this one should go together pretty quick because everything that I need for this bike is fairly common stuff. The only hard things that are going to be to find is like a chain guard and a seat. Everything else shouldn't be a real big deal. So that is my 1970 Pea Picker project. I hope you guys dig it. Give it a thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting more videos on this bike and in any of the other muscle bike projects when I make progress on them. So give me some time. But there will be more stuff on this bike for sure. Go check out the channel. There's tons of cool stuff on there. All kinds of custom car culture stuff and muscle bike stuff and all kinds of neat stuff if you just dig around on there. Otherwise, until next time, guys, get out, work on your own projects, get those hands dirty and greasy, stay cool, and we'll catch you cats on the next one. Thanks for watching.